Oh God. Hopefully the duct tape holds. Cool. So next we are going to take a look at rescue lowers, and we're going to start off with simple lowers, and then we're going to add in a knot pass lower. Essentially the scenario is here, I'm up at the top of a root, or at least a pitch, tethered in. I got myself to the shelf, which my preference, belaying will on my DMM Pivot, which is just a Plaquette style device. Similar to your Guides ATC or Reverso. Because you're rocking a Guides ATC. Guides ATC, cool. So if I just want to get a few inches of slack here, and Will's got the system loaded, what's going to be the easiest way for me to get a few inches of slack here? Any thoughts, Josh? Not sure. Cool. No worries. Quentin?
Juggling on the carabiner a little bit.
Ratcheting the carabiner. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. So I can grab this carabiner in the back. Get him back down to that ledge. What do you guys think about doing like 100-foot lower like that?
Horrible.
Horrible, right? What about a 20-foot lower? No, it's still not so great, right?
Yeah.
So if Will just botched it coming off like, say, a ledge, and he just botched it, and I was keeping him super tight because I didn't want him to break his ankles on the ledge, that's a super easy way to just give him that little bit of slack to get him back down to the ledge for sure. Let's say I want to lower him more like, I don't know, 10 to 20 feet. Gerbs.
LSD?
Nope, he can't unload right now.
Oh, he can't unload.
He can't unload.
Your pivot's pretty fancy. Stick a carabiner in that hole.
So this technique works on a Guides ATC as well, but it works best on this pivot. The pivot, the whole reason they call it pivot is the attachment point to the anchor is a pivoted hinge. And Black Diamond actually recommends you lower this way with their Guides ATCs too, but it's harder on your body on the Guides ATCs. So I'm going to take a carabiner that has a real nice little sexy narrow key lock nose, and I'm going to slide it through that lower hole on the device towards the load strand. So this would be correct. That would be incorrect. Does that make sense? The idea is I'm trying to get as much leverage on here as possible. I'm basically just put the handle on the gree-gree, essentially. And now I can lower Will from here. Boom. Do I need a backup on this? Should I put a third hand on, guys?
Yes, sir.
Oh, God, rock falls down, hits me in the head. Anybody gonna die? Don't really need a backup on, right? So if I want to lower somebody 10 to maybe 20 feet, this is a good option. I wouldn't go much farther than that. Let's say that he is 60 feet off the ground, and there's 100 feet left on the pitch, and he's 70 feet off the ground, and he's just over it. He's like, you know what, man, this is just too hard. You chose the wrong route. You suck as a guide.
I'd rather go watch the Super Bowl.
I'd rather go watch the Super Bowl at the Shane Bourne house and eat lots of good food. I can't believe your mom would be heavy for this. It's not as important as Christmas.
Oh, today's Sunday, huh? Nah, they know I don't give a fuck about football.
You have a big football party at your house, though, or no? Oh, I think he said he did.
Well, I mean, my dad will go off with some wings or something.
With some wings?
Ribs or,
Sweet. So a longer lower. A longer lower than 20 feet. What do we think about that, guys? Any thoughts on what might be the best way to do that? Have you ever had to do a lower out of a Plaquette before? No. It's a trippy tool. People use this all the time, and they have no idea how to lower with it. Think about the implications of that if like somebody fell off on an overhanging route where they were just hanging in space and they couldn't do anything and didn't have the skills to ascend the rope or something. It's pretty wild. This is a loose cannon that a lot of people are running around with. So if I'm going to do a lower longer than 10 feet and I can't unweight the system, at this juncture, I'm probably going to do what I call flipping the device. I want to convert this more into a traditional ATC. This done incorrectly can kill people. The first step, if you're even considering doing this, is to put a third hand on. I'm pretty liberal of the use of third hands depending on what I'm doing. This one, as soon as we flip this device, this thing is going to want to move, and I don't want to be caught off guard by that. So mandatory first step is to throw a third hand on with a locking carabiner.
Just gonna grab my template real quick.
Third hand bites. Awesome. Beautiful. Next thing I'm gonna do is I need some sort of material that I can fit through the nose of this carabiner. Skinny Dyneema runners can work for this. A stopper can work for this. Right now I happen to have a cordelette on me, which is kind of my preferred choice anyways, because I can use it for multiple things here. So I'm gonna take my cordelette off. Here's again is another argument for keeping a flat overhand, keeping your cordelette really accessible as far as having access to it as a single piece. And I am going to thread it through the device again towards the load strand. And I'm just going to tie a stopper knot. In this case I'm using a fisherman's, but it doesn't really matter. Just something that won't fit back through that hole. Boom. Awesome. Sweet. And now I have a place to pull off of. I'm now going to bring this cordelette back up to the anchor. I have a habit of just sort of chaining it off my personal tether here. Just kind of keeps it out of the way, nice and off to the side. I'm gonna clip it onto there, boom. And now I'm gonna bring this back to my harness and attach it to myself via a clove hitch. Now the important part for this to work, the brown cordelette has to be shorter than my purple climbing rope tether. If the cord is longer than my tether, it won't work. And this is an easy fix. If it's longer than my tether, how could I make my tether longer?
Just extend that clove hitch.
Just extend the clove, right? Super simple. Boom. So now I can lean back. Ooh, look at that. I did it myself after talking about not doing it. Sweet. I have leverage on the device. Device opens up. I can lower the wheel now. Now, in a perfect world, if I'm basically running an ATC here now, right? Where does the brake strand want to be, guys? I want to be in front of the device or behind the device? Behind, right? We've got to cross that braking plane, right? So I don't have as much friction as I would like. I can redirect my brake strand if I want to, but it starts to get pretty bound up. If I've got a really big person, say a 250 pounder down there, I might consider redirecting the brake strand. Somebody in anybody's weight category here, I'm just not going to bother with it. However, this is mandatory. Book. Forward. And if I want to stop, I just lean in, goes right back into plaquette mode. Boom. Bang. Awesome. Will?
Instead of running the cordo through that narrow little hole in the plaquette there, a friend of mine tied that to the belay carabiner that serves as the auto locking function. And when they released that carabiner, their climber fell 40 feet before they got them to stop and trying to grab onto the rope and get it to lock off. Severe rope burns on the hands. It was a clean fall, so there was no injury to the climber. But one of those instances, like he's talking about, loose cannon of, if you don't know what you're doing to lower that, it just, I don't even remember if she had a third hand or not, but as much rope as it went out real quick, it would have just melted it.
This one's for real. People have killed people doing this, like a handful of them. Third hand backup mandatory. Awesome. I'm just going to clean this up. Sweet. And I'm going to leave it at those for now. I'm going to throw the LSD in later.
Okay.
Are you guys okay? Do you need assistance?
We need a rescue.
Did you just reset there?
Yeah, well that was my plan. This is my midway anchor.
Oh, okay.